The following program is paid for by Main Street Living.
Hi, I'm Pastor Matthew Harrison, President of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Starting in the late 1950s, Lutheran Hour Ministries aired a television program called This is the Life in their efforts to bring Christ to the nations. It was a critically acclaimed show that used story and drama to convey eternal truths from God's Word. And it featured actors who were just getting started in their careers. Recently, Lutheran Hour Ministries, in partnership with Main Street Living, remastered and brought to HD quality about 50 of these programs. You may notice some young actors who've become very famous. And even though the props and styles are of the 1960s and 70s, the subject matter is still very relevant. So please sit back and enjoy this week's episode of This is the Life.
Okay, let's go.
Who are you? How did you get in here? What do you want? Ah!
Shouldn't have done that, lady. We don't like screamers. Turn up that radio.
So my husband, he says to me, Maria, forgive me. And we kiss and make up.
Oh, you're so lucky having Tony.
I am lucky having him. Oh, he is lucky having me.
Well, I don't know what Emma and I'd do without you.
Oh, it's nothing. I have to go shopping anyway. And having you or Emma along always makes it fun.
Well, it sure gives us a lift, and I don't mean just our feet. Well, come on in and have some of Emma's nice fresh cake.
Try and stop me.
Hey, let's cut out.
Oh, when Emma starts listening to that radio. There. Dios mío! Emma!
Would you recognize them if you saw them again?
Yes.
Good. I'll go and get some mug shots.
She'll have to rest first.
It's lucky you came back when you did. You obviously interrupted them. Don't worry, Mrs. Bauer. We'll get them.
Try and rest now.
Be careful, Catherine. If they should come back.
Don't worry. Tony and me, we'll see that she's safe. You just hurry up and get well.
I'm 4 feet 10 inches. So if you want, I can do it for you this weekend.
How much would it come to, Tony?
Not much. With the window bars and the new locks, I can get them through the garage, wholesale, like I did for our place. And for labor, when Emma gets back, how about one of those chocolate cakes, huh?
You're both just too much.
Well, we just happen to love you two gringas.
And we don't want anybody to mess with you again, not if we can help it. Look, I gotta get back to work, but we'll pick you up around 6 o'clock.
Could I bring anything, blankets or sheets?
Oh, about a dozen pillows. To put over your head. The way Tony snores, you'll need them.
There's my phone. Oh, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your invitation. I couldn't sleep in this house tonight if my life depended on it. Hello?
Is this the house where the lady was mugged?
Yes?
Are you the friend she lives with?
Yes, who is this?
Just listen, lady. You tell her to forget who did it, understand? Otherwise, she just might as well die in the hospital. Because if she talks, she's sure gonna be dead. And so are you.
Got to tell the police that you can't identify any pictures. Even if Tony does put bars on the windows, you're still in danger. And so am I. Got to tell the police that you've forgotten, that you're not sure, anything. Because whoever phoned me, he wasn't fooling. He meant what he said.
If you see somebody that even slightly resembles your attacker, it'll help us.
It's no use, Sergeant. I was just so scared. I don't know what I saw. My eyes aren't very good anymore.
Take your time. Take your time.
It's all a blur. One picture just goes into another. I just can't be sure.
Mrs. Bauer, some people are afraid to make an identification. I'm not saying you are. But if you are, don't be. You're safe in here. And we'll give you all the protection we can give you.
Sergeant, if I could tell you, I would. But I just can't be sure of anything anymore.
Couldn't she be telling the truth? Maybe she isn't sure of anything.
Maybe. All I know is she's awfully frightened. I can't say I blame her.
Hello, Emma.
Oh, Pastor, I'm so glad to see you.
Your doctor filled me in on what happened. I'm terribly sorry. And I'm glad to know that you're going to be all right.
If I can ever stop shaking.
You just give yourself a few days. What you've been through is enough to shake anybody.
It's like a horrible dream. I just want to pull the covers over my head. It's not just what happened, but if it could happen once.
Hey, now. You don't have any reason to believe it could happen again, do you?
Well, no, I don't suppose so.
Besides, when you leave here, the police are going to keep an eye on you, and so are your friends. And an attack like that is never going to happen again.
I know. Catherine says Tony's put bars on the windows and new locks.
But?
You always say that God doesn't send us trials bigger than we can handle. Well, he has this time. I can't handle this. I'm just so frightened.
I said he never sends us trials bigger than we can handle. With his help. His help. And that's where he'd like you to turn right now.
Pray with me, Pastor. Please, pray with me.
Of course I will.
How are you, dear?
Pretty good.
I'd say very good.
Well, I hope you're all hungry. I made a big chicken casserole.
It sounds wonderful.
Now, come on in and you get off your feet. Here, careful.
How do you like the windows?
It looks like a fortress.
Nobody's gonna break in on you again. Those bars are for keeps, unless there's a fire. And then you can open them from the inside.
I'm so grateful to you both.
Now, come on. You must be hungry.
I know I am.
Well, let's go.
Oh. I feel as if I'm waking up from a nightmare.
Emma, you just sit down and relax, and I'll put lunch on.
I'll give you a hand.
Oh, it's so good to have you home again.
Thanks, dear.
As soon as you catch your breath, Emma, I'll give you a grand tour, show you what I've done.
Well, let's do it right away. I want to see everything.
Okay, let's go. I don't know if Catherine told you. She had this extension phone put in here.
Yes. I'm glad.
Now, with these bars, you can sleep with your windows wide open and feel perfectly safe.
Are they really strong enough to keep out anybody?
Except maybe King Kong. Now, for the back door, I put a bolt on there strong enough to keep out the devil himself. Emma, what's the matter? Hey, are you okay?
Yes, I just felt a little wobbly.
Well, come on, sit down.
No. I'll be all right.
I left the outside light on.
Good. And I think maybe we should put some pans on the kitchen floor in case anybody should get in. Not that I think they could, but just in case. They'd trip over them and make a lot of noise.
Of course, I don't think there's a ghost of a chance that anybody could get in here, but you're right, Emma. It couldn't hurt. You put some here in the middle of the floor. Oh, here's a good pile.
All right.
And I'll put some in the living room.
There. Now, what do you think?
That'll wake us.
Help me pick them up.
And we'll go to bed.
Yes. I saw it on TV once.
Good. I'm going to take this along. Not that I think I'll ever use it, but just in case.
I want something, too. Maybe a can of bug spray. I could squirt him in the eye.
Good idea. You blind him and I'll bop him. Oh, we're just being silly with all the bars and the new locks.
Of course we're silly, but better safe than sorry. Catherine, are you awake?
Yes.
I know it's ridiculous, but I'm scared.
Me too. I'm afraid I got used to sleeping at Maria's and listening to Tony snoring. It was so comforting.
I wish we had a dog.
But you're allergic to fur.
Maybe I could take shots.
I'd rather have a gun.
Could you really shoot somebody?
I could sure scare 'em. Oh, no, we're just being childish. And the way that police car keeps patrolling past here.
Oh, Catherine, I wish I hadn't had to lie to that detective.
What else could you do? The Lord does not expect us to be fools.
Good night.
Good night. Yes? Oh, hello, Maria. You're right, it is a week to the day since you brought Emma home from the hospital. Yes. Oh, no. Oh. Well, I am sorry. Well, of course we understand. Oh, don't you worry about us. We'll be all right. Well, I hope you get it fixed soon. Yes, I will. Bye.
Is something wrong?
The water pump on Maria's car broke. She can't take us shopping.
Oh, dear, and we're out of so many things.
Maybe it's just as well. I mean, we cannot rely on Tony and Maria to cart us around everywhere forever. Gotta try our own legs sooner or later. It might as well be sooner.
No, I'm not setting foot out of this house.
Now, Emma, I'm not all that anxious to leave either. But I feel that we must make the attempt. Now, look, that market isn't so far away. We can be careful. You can carry the bug spray, and if anything does happen, well, there'll be the two of us. We can yell bloody murder.
No.
We cannot stay cooped up in this place forever. The longer we do, the harder it's going to be. Oh, come on. The two of us are getting so paranoid. If we don't break out of it soon, we'll end up in the funny farm. Come on.
Relax. I'm trying.
Just keep walking. Get your bug spray ready.
I thought we were done for.
Now let's pull ourselves together. We can't let things like this panic us.
Emma! Catherine!
You were saying, Pastor, Sergeant Hodak called you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I called him. Since I was planning to drop over here, I thought I might be able to tell you that they'd caught the gang that attacked you.
And?
I'm sorry. Apparently the police aren't even close.
Oh, Pastor, when I just hear mention of those terrible, vicious kids, I just get goosebumps. It's been over a week, and it isn't getting any better.
Well, that's understandable after what you've been through. You just don't wipe that out in a week.
Especially with those young hoodlums still on the loose.
Yes, that's what concerns Sergeant Hodak. Apparently, there's been a substantial increase in terrorism in this area. And he feels it's all the same gang. He's going to drop by here in a couple of days and show you some more mugshots.
Well, it won't do any good.
Why?
Well, I've already seen mugshots. It didn't help.
Emma, is there anything you can tell the sergeant that you haven't already told him? I won't press you. I know how afraid you've been. And I can sympathize with that. I just want to remind you, as I did in the hospital, of someone who knows what real fear, real terror is, and promises to help you.
But, Pastor, he was God. I'm just a helpless old lady. It is not a fair comparison.
True. He was God, and is God. But when he was sweating, as it were, great drops of blood there in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was suffering as a real human being, a helpless human being. And because he was God, and therefore could see the utterly gruesome death he was about to face, he had to know even greater fear. And when he cried out, "Father, take this cup from me," it was a cry of terror, a very human cry, a helpless cry of terror.
Well, maybe it is a fair comparison.
Emma, the point is that for the sake of my salvation, and Catherine's, and yours, God's Son looked that terror straight in the face, and then willingly went to the cross that we might live. And now he asks us to take up our cross and follow. He asks us to willingly set aside our own safety if need be, for the sake of other people.
Well, Pastor, that's the cross I just can't bear.
Even if it means that others might live.
What about our safety, Pastor? Does Christ give us any guarantees about that?
No, but he does guarantee this. I will be with you.
Hello?
Emma? It's Tony. I'm at the hospital.
At the hospital? What happened?
Maria was just mugged. They beat her up bad, too.
Oh, no.
And from what she says, it sounds like maybe the same people who beat up on you, too.
Oh, Maria, Maria.
This is horrible.
I'm gonna get those creeps. Some way.
Did you get a good look at them?
It happened so sudden. But there was 3 of them.
Is there anything we can do?
Yeah. You can pray the police find those freaks before they kill somebody.
We better go. Let Maria get some rest.
But we don't know for sure it's the same ones.
Does that really matter?
Emma, we just can't.
After all Tony and Maria have done for us.
They don't expect us to get ourselves killed.
What do they expect from us? What does Christ expect?
All I know is we're trapped. We're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. We've got to look out for ourselves. I'm scared.
So am I. I'm so scared I'm almost sick.
Well, come on. Let's go to bed. Maybe in the morning.
No, I'm not going to stay awake another night tied up in knots.
But there's nothing we can do.
Catherine, there's a lot we can do. You heard what the pastor said.
Oh, look, Emma. We're just a couple of old ladies.
Well, that doesn't excuse us.
Oh, it's well and good for the pastor to talk about the Lord this and the Lord that. But I don't see the Lord out there mopping up all this crime.
The Lord? But that's our job, Catherine. And maybe that's one reason it isn't getting done. Because too many people like us are afraid to go out there and do what they know they have to do to help. You and I go to church. We say we believe in Christ and all his promises to us. But we don't really believe unless we're willing to act as if we believed. I think that's what it comes down to, Catherine. We do have a choice. We can stay here for the rest of our lives, hiding behind iron bars like a couple of prisoners. Or we can act as if we really believe and trust Christ to give us whatever courage we need to do what we know we have to do.
I'll still be scared.
So will I. You know, I'm sure David was scared when he faced Goliath. But he did it. And you know why? Well, it's like the pastor says. God didn't promise to keep him safe. But he did say, I will be with you.
You sure you want to?
Yes. When we've told the police, I'm going to pray as I've never prayed before.
You and me together.
Give me the police.
I hope you found this program to be both entertaining and insightful. Even though the show was filmed decades ago, the concerns of those days seem to parallel many situations of today. We'll be back next week with another episode of This is the Life. In the meantime, I invite you to seek further wisdom from God's Word, the Bible, and I invite you to visit one of our congregations in your area. We are the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and you will find our 6,000 congregations listed at www.lcms.org. This program has been brought to you by Main Street Living, which relies on the generosity of viewers to support this programming. They appreciate your prayers and would also appreciate your financial support. You can view additional episodes of This is the Life on the Main Street Living website. Thanks for watching. And join us again next week, same time, same channel, for another episode of This is the Life.
This has been a production of Main Street Living Incorporated, in conjunction with the South Dakota District of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod and its member churches. Send your comments and contributions to Main Street Living, 1400 South Duluth Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 57105.